Hey guys, Kathleen Penner here from Plenty of Sunshine Travel. Today we had a very adventurous day. It was incredibly long and I just wanted to tell you guys about it. So as you can see, I am in beautiful Alaska. I am so stinking excited to be here. Like, you guys have no idea. This has been a bucket list for years and years and I'm so happy to be here. But there's a story of our travels today. Those of you who are local, who know what Toronto Airport has been like, those of you who live in the GTA like I do, it's just atrocious. It's almost an embarrassment how terrible it is, the lines, the cancellations, everything. But being a travel agent, I knew I had insurance. I knew if anything were to happen, I can just walk to another counter and whatever, we deal with it. So this morning when we were leaving, we had a 7:30 a.m. flight from Toronto, and we decided to leave, I think it was about 3:45, and we're on Eastern Standard Time, just to clarify that because that'll be important later. So we were on our way there, and I think we got about 15 minutes from the airport, and I got a notification on my app saying our flight has been canceled. And we had a connecting flight, pardon me, in Vancouver. So we absolutely had to be in Vancouver today because today we're in Anchorage. Tomorrow we're leaving, we're taking that great train, we're going into Seward, and we're disembarking on our ship. We're going on the absolutely gorgeous Silver Sea, Silver Shadow, and we had to get there. I mean, today's the day we have to get here. But anyway, so I ended up quickly calling Air Canada, and I had that on speakerphone as I'm sitting there frantically trying to work on the app and figuring out how to change my flight or to rebook or to do whatever. And my daughter, who was also there because she was driving us to the airport, my husband was driving at the time and she was just going to drive the car back home. She says, oh, it says right here, if you cancel your check-in, you can reselect another flight. Well, that was kind of freaky to me because if I canceled my check-in, then I wouldn't be on the list to be able to get a rebook and to do all that. And it would just be basically like, you know what, you're a sort of luck because you didn't even bother to check in. So I was kind of afraid to do that. By the time we're still trying to figure all this out, we had pulled into the airport. So I frantically go in and I go to get talk to somebody at the desk, and of course there's a security guard standing there saying, oh, you need your mask, ma'am. And I'm like, oh my goodness, my mask. It's like the last thing on my mind. And I'm like, I've got it in my bag, I'll get it, I promise. He's like, okay. So I'm looking all around and I'm trying to find a counter to go to. There are lineups in front of the kiosk. There are lineups to go and make sure that your bag is meeting the criteria. Oh, there's a float plane going over. Meeting the criteria to be able to get there. There's lines everywhere, and I finally find one line, and I get over to her and I said, I'm sorry, I'm freaking out a little bit. I just got notification that my flight is canceled, and I'm just trying to figure out what's the best flight to get me to Vancouver so I can get my connecting flight. So she's like, oh, you have to go over to counter number 15. I'm 3, so go way down there at the airport. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Oh, and she's still typing, and I'm like, okay, I'll just stay here for a second. Anyway, she's chatting with me, and she says, this is where the special assistance is. Do you need special assistance for a wheelchair? And I said, well, I have my cane, and sometimes with long distances, yes, I do need it, but let's deal with this hurdle, and then we'll figure that out. And I said, I'm so sorry, I'm just a little bit stressed right now. That's kind of putting it mildly, but that's besides the point. So she's like, I understand, and she's going through, and she goes, oh, it looks like you had mechanical problems with your plane, but they got another plane there, so it's still leaving at 7:30 a.m., you're still good. About 10 minutes after I finished talking to her, I actually got the notification from Air Canada saying that, so way to scare me, but that's besides the point. So anyway, so she's double checking, and she goes, yep, you've got your same seats, you're good, okay, let me print you your boarding passes. So as I'm looking at my boarding passes and I'm walking away, I saw that she had upgraded us for our flight from Vancouver to Anchorage to business class. Guys, I've never flown business class before. I was shocked. So I was kind of excited about that. So I guess, hey, it pays to be nice to people. So we went and we managed to get to our gate. It took about 45 minutes or so to get through all the security, all the lines, which actually isn't that bad. But we're talking it's 4 in the morning, so probably by that time it's about 4:30. Anyway, we made it and we got there, and then our flight was slightly delayed, but not too bad. And we ended up getting the exit row seats, which was great because we could stretch out, but unfortunately there wasn't a window, which was very, very disappointing to me because I'd never flown over the Rockies and I really wanted to see them. It's absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. But anyway, so I just kept thinking, okay, it's all right. We're going to go to a lounge. We're going to have buffet lunch. We're going to have all this stuff. I'm happy. Everything's going to work out. So we got to Vancouver, and sure enough, we managed to get to the Maple Leaf Lounge. It was a little bit lackluster. I actually was expecting a little bit more in my mind. There were some massage chairs. It was a nice place to sit. We got a choice of 2 different hot dishes for lunch. There was a chili and there was a cream of mushroom soup and some other cold foods, but it was great. It was nice to be able to get a meal provided and to relax. So that was our lunch, and then we went onto our flight. Now we are at Pacific time by that point, and our flight left at about 12:30 their time. So Eastern time, that would have been 3:30 our time. So we're a little bit tired, but we made it. My goodness. So business class, the seats are wide, the seats are comfortable, the seats fantastic. It had a little footrest where your feet can go up, and I'm sure we might be able to put a picture there for that. It had a little spot for you to rest your feet as well after they were, on that little elevation. You can recline without annoying the person behind you. Fabulous. I mean, even the maps that shows you where you are looks more like Google Earth. Even those were upgraded. So it was just amazing. I'm so happy to get that upgrade. It was just wow. But the amazing part was is the lunch. They came around and they offered us a menu. They said there was an appetizer of a gorgeous salad. Everybody got the same dessert. It was a brownie. And then for your main dish, you had a choice of cheese ravioli and warm fresh buns, or a nice chicken with a gravy and leek gravy, I believe it was, roasted potatoes, just amazing. I got the chicken, my husband got the ravioli. Should have got his bite that I had of his. So good, just fantastic. But anyway, and so our flight was a little bit delayed, and then we got into Anchorage at, I think it was around 3:45 Anchorage time, which we discovered is an hour later than Pacific time. I guess they don't have daylight savings time. So we got in at 4, so it would have been 7 p.m. our time. Nope, 8 p.m. our time. It's getting hard to keep track, and I apologize. But anyway, and here we are. According to me, my time back at home is 11:45 at midnight. We're exhausted, but my goodness, we're in Anchorage. And tomorrow is going to be an amazingly fun, amazing day. We're still going on the train that has a domed car so that we can see all of the gorgeous mountains, all of Alaska on your way to the cruise port. You guys have got to follow along with me. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel. Plenty of Sunshine Travel on Facebook. Oh my goodness. Plenty of Sunshine Travel on Facebook. I'm sorry, I lost it. Plenty of Sunshine Travel on YouTube. I am also on Facebook, but subscribe on YouTube. And then follow along. We're going to do a daily vlog. There's going to be lots of pictures, lots of things going up because we're in Alaska. It's a 7-day cruise. We're going to be going to Sitka, we're going to be going to Juneau, we're going to be going to Skagway, we're going to be going to Hubbard Glacier, Inside Passage, Juneau. It's just fabulous. Guys, you got to follow along. Thank you so much for listening to the whole thing about my stress this morning, but it turned out wonderfully because I ended up getting that upgrade. So thank you for listening to this whole thing, and make sure you follow along. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.